What's up guys, and welcome to episode 3 of the Lean Machine series. Here we're going to take a look at one of my workout phases. This is the contraction week. This is 2 exercises per body part, 5 sets per exercise, and 10 to 12 rep range. And it's a contraction week, so called because we are looking here for absolute control and contraction. This is moderate to lightweight, guys. And the whole purpose of this is to get a real mind to muscle connection and work the muscles as they should be during an exercise, not just throwing a weight through a range of motion. We want to lift it, not shift it. Looking at the warm-ups here, again, something that's really neglected in my opinion, warm-ups. They're either neglected or done wrongly. A warm-up isn't about flinging your limbs around and just getting blood moving. It's about setting your body ready for what's to come. So that means setting your posture, making the joints work, and making the muscles start to get warm. Not just throwing. I've seen people warm up so aggressively that they could actually injure themselves. So again, slow and controlled. Here you can see first set. We're going to look at first and final sets on this video. Holding at the top. This is what contraction week is about. Slow progressive squeeze up to the top point of contraction. Then you're going to say in your head, hold. That's how long you hold it up there. And then you're going to release it back down with control. No snap, no body swings. And you're looking to create form failure between 10 to 12 reps, not unable to lift. You fail when you're unable to hold a full contraction. That is real failure, not just not being able to shift the weight. Again, looking at the final set, you can see here Max doesn't lose any form, no body swing, and maintaining a hold each rep up to the top point. Second exercise that we did was an overhead hammer grip. Again, don't be afraid of changing grips, having to play around. As long as you're doing overhead, as long as you're doing pulls, as long as you're hitting the different variations of where you're going to be targeting each muscle, don't be afraid to mess around with the grips and find different things that you might like. Here we're looking for chest up, arching the lower back. We're keeping the shoulders engaged. We're not letting the shoulders pop at the top. Bringing it down, hold and release. See how it's slow, controlled, and this is with moderate to lightweight, guys. I can shift a lot of weight on back, but here we were doing maybe 30% of the stack, and on a heavy week I can shift up to 80% of the stack. So you really need to work on this. It's the mind to muscle we're looking for. Let that ego go and resist that urge at the end of the set to rep out. Don't do it. Keep going for that controlled squeeze. I promise you, it hurts. So then we moved on to biceps, and again warming up in between, because we hadn't warmed up the biceps properly here. We want range of motion warm up. That's what we're looking for here. And again, posture setting. So here we're looking to pull the stomach in, keep the core tight, shoulders back, chin tucked in so we're not pigeon necking. And again, just warming up the different angles to get the elbows nice and warm. Here in Britain, it's pretty cold at the moment. On this session, we're focusing on back and biceps, only 2 body parts, but normally we do up to 3 body parts. The reason we're only doing 2 on this is because a couple of days each week does allow for 2 body parts and accessory work. This is one of those days, but also during this week, we were doing extra days to get in extra calorie burning because we weren't doing cardio. And that again allowed us to break the body down further into some more only 2 body part days. But every body part is hit twice each week.
Vacuum, chest up, don't pigeon neck it, pull your chin in, relax that neck.
So here you can see standing hammer curls. What we're looking for on these, we're looking to keep our chin tucked in so we're not letting the neck tense up, which then removes the traps. We're looking to keep the shoulders back, soft knees, and we're bringing it up, keeping our elbows by the side, not allowing them to rock backwards or forwards, and getting a squeeze and holding at the top of each rep. Soft knees, keeping a nice solid core, almost vacuuming, guys. If you keep the shoulders back and try and maintain a vacuum, I promise you every exercise is going to become harder because you have to maintain control throughout the body. A lot of the time what people are doing when they're sat on benches and things like that or on machines is they're allowing their body to just go through ranges of motion rather than controlling what is actually happening. It is really, really important that we have overall control of the muscles, body, posture. The moment you have control of all these things together is when the exercises really begin to do what they are intended for. So rather than letting the ego take hold, make sure technique does.
I think I said a love train there. then.
We're taking a look at the final set form of these hammer grip curls. These are a really great exercise when it's done well. So some handy hints are shoulders back, nice and relaxed though, trap disengaged, chin tucked in, relaxed neck. You want to hold the dumbbells quite high, so you see my hand is high up on that handle, actually touching the top head of the dumbbell. This relieves elbow pressure and keeps tension on the muscle, and get that hold in at the top. Say it in your head, hold and then release slow.
Come on now, come on.
It hurts! Janice, it hurts! It hurts!
One of the main things that happens when people doing hammer curls is they allow the body to swing forward, especially on negatives, because that's what the body wants to do, remember. Every exercise, your body's going to try and be efficient in the way that it lifts and releases the weight, and that goes against what we want to do. We want to target muscles, and that means stopping the body doing what it wants to do and maintaining the load where it doesn't want it. So by controlling these habits that we have, the bad habits that we have, and replacing them with good habits, you are forever going to be progressive. And that's what's so important but so easily missed time after time after time, because the ego comes in and says, lift more weight. And you got to go, shut up, ego. I'm going to lift the right weight. It sounds stupid, but trust me, guys, if you get this right, you will feel the difference straight away. Moving on, we then did some crucifix bicep curls. I think that's what they're called. If it's not, it's a cool last name. That's what I'm calling them. And there's a couple of things here to look at. Again, obviously, we're holding at the top. We have that same thing, vacuum held in, chest up, relaxed neck, chin in, soft knees. But then we're actually pulling these like a bicep pose. Look at my elbows. They don't move up and down. They stay exactly where they are, almost like on a preacher curl. Then we're curling to just behind the ears. I know it sounds weird, guys. So you stand slightly forward and you curl to just behind your ears. I promise you will feel this much, much better. It allows you to keep your shoulders back and your elbows really pulling through to the front. But a lot of people on that, what they do is they let the elbows dip backwards and then they kind of pull down at an angle, which is just really weird.
Functionality, finishing the session on dips, getting it in, making the body work through natural ranges of motion.
Going from 0 to 100 reps with the dips, we did 20 reps, 5 sets. And what we're looking for here is angle on the body. We want the chin nice and tucked in, neck relaxed, driving through the heels of your hands, keeping your elbows slightly wide, making sure that your shoulders aren't popping backwards and forwards, and getting a nice contraction on the chest. Again, you'll see I'm not going hugely deep. You want to bring this to a natural point of descension and then drive up. Overstretching is only going to irritate your shoulders. Taking a look at the final set form, so this was 80 to 100 reps, and you can see the angle on the body. Look how far back I'm kicking my feet, creating a really nice angle and focusing it on the chest. We normally would do 100 dips and then around about 50 to 100 pull-ups as well, but we were absolutely blown on our back from the amount of days we trained it previously, and so we decided to take an educated rest from the pull-ups.
Oh. Boom! That's it, finish on the dips, finish doing that. Let's go, get us an old school shake. So that's it. Another session done. As I was talking about before, those simple carbohydrates, getting them in while you're training, while you're working out. Make sure they're super low fat, high sugar. We opted for the pink and white. So back home, another Lenny Bob. So it's been an hour or two since training. Happy New Year from Leinster to us. And I'm having my low days. As I said, I'll have one more low day tomorrow. And then I'll start increasing back up to maintenance level. And then from there, we'll start increasing week to week the food, slowly but surely. And the trick with all of this is commitment and time. It is not a process that can be rushed. If you rush trying to grow, you're going to put on fat. That's the way it is. You can only develop a certain amount of lean muscle tissue in a period of a week, a month, and it's not a lot. So we're going to be looking for an increase of around about 1 to 2 pounds average per month. and that's going to be excluding the earlier stages where your glycogen levels kind of get replenished and you go through kind of a spike of what appears to be weight gain, but really it's not. It's just your body loading up with more glycogen and pulling in a little bit more water alongside that. So I'm on today a muscle food hash steak, but this one is peppered, which we haven't tried before, and it tastes real good.
Does it taste better?
It does, it's got more flavour. Well, normally what Lainey does is she makes this and then she puts a really lovely gravy on top, which kind of spoils me. So if you're not as effective in the kitchen as Lainey is, as most human beings are not, having these peppered gives you that instant kind of flavour gratification, while still staying pretty lazy. But anyway, in terms of what this tastes like, it's awesome because I'm having with it some Bombay potatoes from the Indian restaurant from New Year's Eve.
I'm going to try and make those Bombay potatoes for you.
Yeah, it's a really, really nice steak. If you haven't had Bombay potatoes, get them. They're basically boiled potatoes in loads of herbs and spice and like a tomato base.
I'd say there's a garam masala.
Beautiful. But being from the Indian restaurant, I'm calculating them as roast potatoes. So this is what I'll do if I don't know what something is, if they're not listed. I kind of go worst case scenario. So this meal's helping me get some of my fats in, so I had a very low fat day as well today. I don't tend to pull my fats down, I'm more concentrating on carbs, although I will dip them a touch. So going from around about where I was at 60, I'm now aiming for more 50s in these low days, and I'll pull them back up alongside when I start coming back. But this is going to be kind of like my final meal for today. So I'll have averaged out at around about 180 to 200 carbs. I'll probably have some more protein, some lean protein later on, and I'll double check my fats, but I think my fats are only around about 30. So what I might do is actually make another shake with some peanut butter in it, and that might be it. If not, I'll have something like smoked salmon. Yeah, I'll have the smoked salmon again, depending on where I'm at and how I'm feeling. And that is pretty much going to be it for today, guys. And so we're going to move on, and we're going to go through the rules, everything you're going to need to get going next. Until then, let's have this real nice steak.